Fancy seeing you here. I've been complimented one time in this shirt, and I decided to wear it because I felt nice, you know. You look at all two of the games in front of you, and the rest of the back of the catalog, we have What Even Is the Plot. I'm gonna get into everything, my channel's involvement with what the plot is, what I think it is personally, what it actually is due to some Reddit sources, and me playing two games. And honestly, at this point, I have played so many of these adult games at this point that it feels like it should be a part of the whole schematic. And as much as I want to rant right in front of you, looking you dead in the eye, and telling you to like and subscribe to this channel for 30 straight minutes, I do have something planned. So therefore, we're just gonna skip to that. Anyway, that's all I have to say. Other than, what's up guys? 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 FNL47 here. Welcome to Watching for the Plot. So this phrase was bandied about throughout the internet for the better part of 2011 in its literal iteration of the word or phrase, but the definition is as follows: watching a movie purposely for a particular interest. My source being from both Reddit and Piranha's paper state that the origin of this phrase comes from Playboy magazine, of all places. Those of Watching for the Plot subreddit suggest that the statement was first used regarding the Playboy magazine in the 60s and 70s. It wasn't stated exactly as I watch it for the plot, but instead I read it for the articles. With how it's used semi-ironically now, the charm is somewhat lost because if you want the plot, you can just go seek it out. Now, with my experience of mere 4 years and counting, this form of media is put in a tier of its own content. Now, of course, it still has to be measured by objective metrics to help me keep track of quality, but at the same time, I do understand said limitations, such as, but not limited to, plot continuity, character development, useful and impactful quote-unquote scenes, pacing, writing, and self-awareness. I'd also argue that the same qualities apply to video games with the same nature as well, and that is the main reason why I'm going to review them. I want to see if the same metrics I apply to all of the wonderful, gorgeous, bountiful amounts of NSFW content I cover would carry over to video games. And I have a strange feeling that it will. Because let's be honest, to keep someone interested in a light novel or even a match 3, there has to be something engaging, something worth hanging around, so when you are rewarded with what you came for, pun intended, it actually feels like you work for it, and there is added context to this. Shows such as Ritsuki Doji and Baba Black are examples of this. While yes, the active insemination is the main plot device, how unique it uses said restricted medium is also somewhat entertaining itself. The bevy of games you see in front of you are the few games that I've found are either so good that I wanted to skip through all the dialogue and get back to the gameplay, or so bad that it made me question my ethical boundaries. I will delve deeper into the lore of this channel and how we got here in the first place, but to summarize, when I say watch over the plot, I do genuinely mean it. Oh, fuck, man, this is gonna be painful. Fetch me their soul! Under contract. Where do I even begin with this game? I guess I can start with why in the hell is a match 3 game with only 4 hours of gameplay considered a complete game? This includes looking at other modes and what it has to offer in arcade, for example, and the promise to be released multiplayer versus mode. The plot of the story is that of a loser bum freak gets hired at this mysterious company, doesn't read the fine print, and somehow signs his soul away. Now, with his soul fully in the grasp of a mamacita over here, he has to work both in his dreams and at the office. With no true ending, we are left with a prompt that promises more content in the future. Richard, looking to continue his story, Kinky Fridays under contract has come against something blocking his path. What is this? Jumping to the scene to elaborate the mascot of Kinky Fridays, Frida. Congratulations, he reached the end of under contract. There is way more to come in the future, but we have to build it first. So from here on out, I'm not going to grab on that too much and focus on what we have been given. We don't get to see the true ending, but I feel like what is already out there is satisfying enough for me to give my takes on it. The gameplay loop, the cutscenes and overall vibes reminds me of Catherine a bit, in that the puzzle aspect is loosely tied to the gameplay, but you're in it for the cutscenes and everything else in between. At this mysterious office, that is oddly a one-by-one replica of the same office in the dream world, everyone there is having sex for both rewards and punishment. You beat a deadline by 3 days, you get to participate in central activities with your boss. You miss a deadline by 3 days, your boss spanks you. Our protagonist's main mission is to free everyone from being forced to work under this literal devil of a boss by freeing them. And I mean that literally, because when you do free someone, you unshackle them from their desk in the dream world. Thus, they are freed from the contract in the first place. I don't know how they explain how our boss lady here lets our main character free all these women that she signed to a contract legally binding, and he gets to free them by playing a match 3 game or talking to them. I don't understand that aspect too much, but again, I kind of blame myself because I did skip all the dialogue and wanted to play match 3, because that's the whole point of me playing this game. When I found this game, it said match 3. I'm like, sold, you got me. So, hey, you know? Basically, because he sold his soul away, he is locked up with a soul chain to his desk, just like all the other co-workers, and they're all bitter to him because his resume looks like he has no work experience, he just got out of college, is a lazy bum, and of course is a pervert. Please, Mr. Manis, have a seat. Holy shit, look at this bougie ass office. Also, what's the deal with her? Is it cosplay day in the office or something? I'll get right to the point. Mr. Manis, you're fresh out of college. You have little to no work experience, and your interviews went rather poorly. I should have known getting a job in a place like this. You're exactly the type of person we're looking for. Oh, seriously? Indeed. Here's your contract. It's rather lengthy, as you can see, but take all the time you need reviewing it before signing. I'll wait. I got the fucking job. We're on Easy Street now. Haha. Holy shit, this thing's like 50 pages. No way I'm now reading this. Let me just skim through the important shit. Internal conflict of interest, blah, blah, blah. Foreign underworld investments, blah, blah, blah. Intellectual and actual property, blah, blah, blah. Hereby foregoing and giving over soul property, blah, blah, blah. However, the ability of him breaking his soul chain by himself during the tutorial mode made it possible to potentially somehow go up the corporate ladder. It looks like maybe you free any of the co-workers. This whole cutscene there, and she's like, oh wow, you actually saved me, you really did it. I'm gonna be part of your party so I can see you rise up to fight Bliss, the manager who is overrunning them underneath Dominique, pun intended I guess, and the one who gave him the hint in the first place to actually do this. Because in all reality, Dominique didn't really intend for him to do this, but at the same time, she sort of just wanted some new blood in the office. But it seems like, because Richard just doesn't want to work, he is going and gathering everyone's support and their shares to eventually get Bliss's shares at the end of the game, like I mentioned later in the review, and therefore becoming Bliss's level. Does this mean he get a soul? No. Does this mean he actually owns the company? No. There's a funny scene where on his first day on the job, he forgets to wear work attire to sleep and goes to the office in the dream world in his boxers. I will say, that gave me a chuckle. With the unique mechanics of the match 3 and how you have to strategize and reversing another wandering devil meant to keep you in line, keeps the gameplay engaging. Remember when I said there are games so good that I wanted? Yes, this is one of those games. I know, it just looks like Candy Crush, but I promise, it's fun. Since of course it is an NSFW game, you will be jump scared by a few of those scenes left and right. Quite literally the opposite practice of lust theory. It's safe to say I'm not gonna like lust theory. And look at the length of the lust theory chapter. Please don't look at that. Just focus here. Our main character is just deviously horny. Gets threatened to be sexually assaulted by his boss, who is bigger and stronger than him, and he takes it in stride. When facing a demon that could squeeze your soul out of your body without even trying, and you smile and wave at that, should not be replicated. This man just wants to die. That's it. There are also a few witty moments here and there that engage with the loophole of beating the demons meant to hold you back. Such examples are, according to Section B, Sentence 1, you have to suck me off because I beat you in Tetris. This makes it somewhat engaging because I want to find out why this world got this way in the first place. There's an entire dimension that exists in the dream world that is like a negaverse. The Nega-Chin! With the clash completed and Richard coming out on top, the demon minion, as per her contract, is required to submit to the victor's request. Such is demon lore. As I overheard, you required a hand. Consider this my obligation complete, but I will not sue myself touching your meat rod. And these back and forths, these character arcs, the character designs themselves, are 70% of the reason why I'm so high in this game in the first place, even though, like I mentioned before, it isn't a final product. So let's talk about the ending that we are given, shall we? The end scene of putting your manager on her back is narratively rewarding, especially if you engage with the light misogyny that is, why the hell is this woman being so bitchy to me and telling me what to do? I mean, yeah, it's her job, but fuck her, in a really annoying catty manner. It adds to the charm because this whole game is just nonsense. Albeit, I'll admit, self-deprecation here. The charm itself is equivalent to Reddit gold farming. Obviously, it is just an interactive slideshow once you get to the end scene of you following your catty manager. They're high quality slideshows, so That's about it. And when we finally get to have an NSFW scene with our catty boss, it was a little funny because the juxtaposition of the extremely successful, highly respected, vastly feared woman in a workplace confessing to being insecure about not having sex for 10 years, saying she's so overworked and pent up, it explains her desire to belittle people as much as she possibly can. Does that make for a fulfilling arc when we finally get to understand her as a person and why she's so mean to us? Not, it's a little bit lazy, but I like this game, so I will brush it under the rug. Did I just bring it up, so therefore brushing it under the rug makes sense? Not really. Did I put it against the game, therefore making the lower ratings? Therefore me saying brushing against the rug doesn't make any sense as well? Again, not really, but I like this game, so we're gonna metaphorically brush it under the rug. Riveting stimulation aside, let's talk about the gameplay, the main reason why you're here, and the main reason why I continue playing this game. I do enjoy the match 3 that Under Contract has to offer. Instead of the entire board being filled in a endless sandbox fashion once you match it, all slowly comes cascading down as if it were reverse Tetris, with passive effects that each character has, such as our protagonist, if you level him up enough, is able to spawn a red star orb that if you match it clears all red orbs on the field, no matter the orientation with the original match 3. Thus, if you strategize it well enough in a versus format, you can save those from when you want to combo and clear the board at the same time. If you get it down well enough, you can get back to playing this game with one hand, like God intended. Now I know I mentioned Lust 3 30 times, be more specific, 1 time. So you know what, because I mentioned it, we should get into it, shall we? We should get to understand why I love this game so much and compare that to a game I hate so much. And does that mean that if there's something I hate, I'm going to put twice as amount of effort as criticizing and scrutinizing it than I would something I love? Yes, that is true, because it's a lot easier to describe why you hate something than why you love it. All I have to say is foreshadowing is a narrative device in which a storyteller gives an advance hint of what is to come later in the story. Without further ado, let's get to the Lust 3 review.
Alright campers, today's challenge is to find a reason to keep going.
Oh boy, where do I even begin with this? Let's go about what this game thinks it is versus what it actually is. Here's the description of the video game. Lust 3 is an adult visual novel in which you take control of a 20-year-old guy whose life is turned upside down when he finds out the same day is repeating. The game is packed with sex, humor, romance, drama, and mystery versus Lust Theory is an adult visual novel in which you take control of a 20-year-old guy who gains the ability to control time. With this supernatural ability, he uses it to manipulate, cheat, steal, and sexually assault anyone in his way. This game is packed with ethical dilemmas, outdated jokes, incest, and alcohol. Remember when I complimented Under Contract for being an incomplete game because it's still good with the product I've been given? Yeah. Opposite treatment of Lust 3. This game is half finished to coerce you to either wait for the next game of the series to come out or just buy their entire catalog because it takes them a year or two to finish that next game. Bro, that's the end of that story. That's the end of that story. That's the end of the story. The way some of these arcs end makes it almost comical, but then you realize this isn't the true ending. It's an artificial cliffhanger meant to make you buy the next game. Oh, were you on the verge of having a budding relationship with one of your favorite characters in our game? Ooh, tough titties. By our next game, we might think about giving you the ending you deserve. Now, of course, I was obviously smart and reserved enough to not fall for these foolish tactics and oh, I bought the game? Full price? Well, at least I didn't install it because, oh, I installed that too? Okay, well, at least I didn't play for it and therefore am able to get a refund in time, right? Oh, it's been a year. Okay, well, at least I didn't play it, and not playing it means I stand on my principles, dare I say, stand on my business. Man, I wish I got that fucking $20 refund.
Cause I got a kind of pretty clean criminal record, so I could punch you right in the face and be all right. I'll take the charge.
Now, you're probably asking yourself, FNL, there is no possible way you can justify this, right? Oh yes, I can. I can give you one plot alone from the top of my head that will check all the boxes I mentioned above and make you want to redact the offices of Instant Games for even making this pilot raccoon feed. Now, with these 2 plots I'm gonna give you, because I'm not gonna give you 1, I'm gonna give you 2 for the price of 1, because I'm so nice. There are 5 more on top of that, branching stories similar to this, some longer, some shorter in nature. But they gotta all include one, if not more, of the following: incest, quagmire-esque dialogue, manipulation, Nick Cage, and the list goes on. So without further ado, let's talk about the main reason why I decided to make this video was thinking about this specific arc. So let's talk about Nicole, shall we? Nicole, our wonderful mid to late 20s coded teacher. So for some reason, while we are saying yes, our main character is 20 and everyone involved is above 18, we are still in a high school setting. Look at this. Look at this. Maybe nostalgia for the most awkward parts of our lives being sold back to us should be studied. But I'm not a sociologist, so we have Nicole here, and her whole character is basically she's a tsundere. Now I know, it sounds lazy for me to drop another tsundere accusation on another character that I don't like. Hear me out. So in her position, she is clearly, like I mentioned before, mid to late, possibly early 30s coded, confident, sets up extreme boundaries for anyone at the workplace, has trust issues, and on top of that, takes her job very, very seriously. After being asked those questions, our self-insert main character starts talking to her after class, who again, as I mentioned, is just a... There's no other way around it. Bill Cosby is his idol. Now there are a few blocks that force the player to proceed with other parts of the story before we can even get into the thick of things, but I'll explain it as if there were no artificial barriers. Spoiler alert, I guess? Who cares? We kind of find out that Nicole is having relationship problems. She's being cheated on and letting it show when you try to woo her after class. When she is extremely frustrated to the point of tears and has her dunce of a student console her, she walks away to gather herself. Because, understandable, right? If I'm sitting here letting myself cry in front of my student who was the worst student in my class, sleeping every single day, flirting with his sister every single day, in class, I too would break down mentally because what am I doing with my life? And that's why I respect that. Now, that modicum of respect aside, what do you think he does in response to this? Mind you, he has the ability to control time, or should I say repeat the same day over and over. You got your answers in your brain? Well, here's what happened. When she leaves to reassemble herself, he looks through her phone and sees the messages. When he sees the messages, he sees how chaotic the relationship is and uses that knowledge to start another conversation with Nicole. So when they start talking again, it's as if he knew exactly what she was going through. Like, oh damn, my ex also burned my cat and threw bleach on my clothes and crashed my car. Bro, like, fuck, dude. And her response was like, yo, really? Your ex did all that? Well, guess what? Mine did too. Fuck, man, this is so crazy. And then she starts crying again. Wow. I guess, is this what the kids call Riz nowadays? Oh, brother. We get to see our stern teacher bawling her eyes out. Once again, completely vulnerable. And there are two prompts that pop up for us. To kiss her or not to kiss her. Now, I know what you're thinking. I thought you said he was a... This is a huge accusation to hurl at someone for just this. Now, mind you, just this was trying to manipulate her into having sex with him in the first place. Something she vehemently refused at least 6 times up until this point. So that should be a mini red flag already into my case of me building up this criminal litigation. Also on top of that, he never even considered the ethical dilemma of going through another woman's phone, copying and pasting the exact conversation back at her so she can relate. It's emotional manipulation. Yes, I'm getting a little melodramatic. I know. The prompt that progresses the story technically is when you don't kiss her, because once you select that option, he says it's absolutely gorgeous Drake bar hair. Honestly, I would never expect a woman as interesting and beautiful as you to respond, let alone feel the same about me. She kisses you herself, gets up and walks off. And that's the end of that arc. We don't get to see any sensual scenes whatsoever, which again, I am kind of glad for this arc specifically, but it unfortunately doesn't stop there. That being the end of the arc is the definition of blue balls, because like I mentioned before, if Nicole was your favorite character and the only way you ever got to see a fulfilling arc with her was with the next topic I'm going to talk about, I would want to the Incident offices too. Editor's note, Incident, if you are watching this video, everything's all jokes, hypothetical, and satirical in nature. I am not threatening anyone associated with Incident offices. That is all. Have a nice day. Now, all the accusations I heard at this game seem a bit hyperbolic, but hear me out. In comparison to what I'm going to tell you, that story of manipulation is going to look like a preferred option. So multiple stories in this game intertwine with one another, not only for the player's engagement, but also because it's just a lot easier than writing 7 different independent scenarios. Now, I don't want to talk about Jessica in depth because we'll be here forever, but I'm gonna have to talk about it. I will try as briefly as I possibly can to summarize her entire character, but again, this game is known for lore dumping. Jessica is an older sister-coded, unemployed, ambitious, stubborn person who can probably hold her own in prison. She's built different, one could say. However, her insecurity of not knowing what to do with herself in her mid to late 20s has her wandering aimlessly in life. She's so real for that. Now, that's where our main character comes in, who we self-insert here, so let's just call him Jay because that's what I have him in the game. So once Jay repeats the same day enough and goes through her computer and finds out her hobbies and what she likes, he finds out that she's passionate about wanting to act. So, with that knowledge, we parlay that into saying maybe you should be a model. Trust me, it is. So, what are we waiting for?
Huh?
Let's start taking some pictures. There's no time like the present, right?
Right now? But I look a mess.
Then what are you waiting for? Put on something nice and let's get started. As they say, strike while the iron's hot, right? In response to that, she blushes and says, well, I don't have any pics. He pulls out a camera. She responds, well, I don't have a studio. And to this reasonable question, he goes out of the park and suggests an exotic location.
First of all, I don't have a schoolgirl outfit. I'm 25.
That's an error. It says 26, but she said she's 25. Curious, isn't it?
Secondly, isn't the whole naughty schoolgirl thing a little cheesy?
Yes, but it pays the bills.
You really think it's worth going to all that trouble?
No, more than a few girls on Instagram, trust me on that. Bro, what?
Well, I suppose there's no harm in giving it a shot, right?
Well, potential trespassing, potential being caught in sexual activities with a minor, even though he isn't a minor, this motherfucker's in high school, potential everything charges. Being registered as a sex offender now because you were naked on school campus. You can't be a 500 feet from the school, which means you have to move out of the house anyway because you would be legally obliged to do so. And there's a bunch of risk going here for like what? 2 photos? Oh my lord. None that I can see.
Fuck it then. Let's do it.
Idiot, dumb, dullard, inept. And so here we are. The beginning of the arc of why this video even exists in the first place. Not sure how though. The water's been okay for the last few days. Never mind. You'll get warm when you start posing. How's the outfit?
No schoolgirl would ever wear something like this.
It's a fantasy, Jess. Doesn't matter what anyone would actually do. All that matters is what looks good. Now, I've skipped enough context between these interactions that could fill an entire video by itself, but just believe me, please, I beg of you, save yourself any more brain power thinking about the lore of this video game. It's not worth it. I should know. So here we are at Jay's high school in the dead of night to get some naughty schoolgirl photo shoot on. Now, I don't know why Jessica, again in her mid to late 20s, would want to be caught dead on a college campus. So my explanation of it being a high school from here on out makes more sense. They break in because Jess knows how to do that, I guess.
But I'm freezing my ass off, and I can tell these pics are going to turn out lousy because of it.
I guess you have a point. There's no reason to keep doing this if...
Unless... How about we do it in there?
In the school? I know it's been a while since you went to Oh, I didn't have to theory craft. I didn't have to spend like 10-20 minutes in the video thinking about ways to confirm this being a high school. They just say, I know it's been a while since you went to high school.
Hey, bro, come on now, dog. Come on, man.
And to spice it up even more, they go to Nicole's classroom and have the photo shoot on her desk. Somehow, Jay convinces Jessica here to take her top off.
I took the top off.
Thanks, Gunna. And boom, that's when Nicole barges in. They don't exactly explain why Nicole's on campus at midnight. Maybe an alarm went off, but isn't that what security alarms are for? Anyway, I don't know. She confronts them, threatens to call the mom-coded character of the series, and this happens.
Fine. On one condition, though. I give your a call instead, because I can't just let this slide. There needs to be some kind of consequences to your actions. There's no reason for you not to do it again. Shit, I'm already on thin ice with her as it is.
Overcome with intense panic, Jessica, for whatever insane reason, tackles her to the ground.
Now, mind you, again, Jessica is unemployed. She's already on the verge of being kicked out due to her lack of funds to help with anything around the house. So the thought of being naked in a high school and having to explain to Elizabeth, our mom-coded character, who we will get to in just a second, wouldn't end too well. In response to that threat, she, like I mentioned, knocks Nicole out. And with her unconscious, the brilliant idea Jessica comes up with is to blackmail her with images of Jay. There we go. Now, Have I justified my clickbaity description? There's another mini arc on top of that where he spikes Nicole's drink with laxative in order to have sex with a new chick in town in the hallway. That just adds to his character being like a villain. Notice how I'm not describing anything good about this game yet. I say this because the good qualities are the main reason why you buy this game in the first place. The intimate scenes being displayed in 8K Ultra HD liquid crystal display. Now, I have in the script that the next arc is worse, but I don't even know anymore what worse than what I just mentioned previously is. That should go to show how this game doesn't understand what power scaling is. Because if you can't unanimously pick an arc that is officially the worst one of this game, we have an issue here. However, because alcohol is involved, I guess you can say it is a tier above it, but not too much. It's like S and A tier in a tier maker list. You know what I'm saying? Alright, the Elizabeth arc. Lamau, I'm not gonna lie. If I actually explain this entire arc, I would literally have to break down the entire plot synopsis. I don't want to waste any more brain power than I already have. But if you want me to do an entire breakdown of each character's arc in a full-blown video for Lust Theory 1 and 2, let me know in the comments down below. That is going to be a long ass video, but let me know if that's what you want. So if there's anything I'm missing by doing it this way, I don't care. Okay, let's get into explaining this. Elizabeth, always busy, mom coded, caring for the family coded beings in the living room. And I say a lot of coded here because they let you put in what the character's relationship is to the main character. It doesn't really make any sense, like I mentioned before, because it is all incest coded, so therefore it makes it completely irrelevant. But they wanted to spice it up, I guess. So, oh well, oh well, oh well. Oh well. When we finally have the opportunity to talk to her, we find out that she's stressed about something. We don't know exactly, so a few cycles have to go by, and we kind of find out that yes, she's worried about Jessica being unemployed, but it's mainly about her ex. You know, with Jeff.
Oh.
I mean, you guys were together for a while. Must be hard with him gone.
I'd rather not talk about it.
Fair enough, but if you ever feel like talking about it, I'm always here.
That's really sweet of you, hon. Oh shit. Look at the time. I gotta get going.
She leaves the house.
She really wanted to get out of this conversation. Usually she doesn't leave for another 10 minutes. Maybe mentioning Jeff in the morning was not the best idea. Doing it at night, when she's a little more drunk, might work.
Lisa?
Now when we discover that she has an ex, we're sitting next to her in the dead of night watching a movie. To get through this movie and telling about her ex, she tries to get drunk. So when you want to fulfill this request, you go to the fridge and find out there is no more. With this knowledge, she goes, okay, well, I'm too sober to talk about this anymore with my uncoded character. And at this moment, our main character Jay is like, hey, I need to get her more drunk. Every single interaction that is NSFW in nature with Elizabeth will either because she's drunk or emotionally manipulated. Now with this new objective set in his sights, his next mission is to go to the gas station and buy some more wine. Here is where the only character we see that has any sense of self sees a 20-year-old sped high schooler asking for wine, stops him. With that new barrier, he has an idea. The idea is to get so much money that the cashier doesn't care about getting fired for selling alcohol to a minor or an underage drinker. Listen, Mickey, I need a favor. Anything, Jay. Could you sell me a bottle of wine? Oh shit. Jay, you know I can't sell you that. Personally, I don't care. You're not 21, and I would sell it to you. No problem. But there's cameras all around. My damn manager always checks the tapes. If he saw me selling you wine, he'd fire me right away. And I really need this job. Damn, that's a shame. I'm really sorry. I get it, no problem. I'm sorry for asking and putting you on the spot. You like working here? Given the lifeguard wait, you have a lifeguard uniform in a gas station. How are you not fired yet? Hello? Nah, man. I'd much rather only work as a lifeguard and watch all those sexy milfs in their swimming suits. But I just don't have enough money to only do that. What if I can get you a shit ton of money? Would you sell me the wine then? Oh man, you don't have to rob a bank for me, but yeah, if I could quit here, I'd sell you the bottle. And his plan for that? Keep buying lottery tickets until he finds the one that wins, reset the day, buy the specific winning lottery ticket, turn it in, get the money, buy the wine, the end, the end.
You spent the next 4 days searching for the winning ticket, until finally...
Yes. Whoa, Mickey, I won. What? I won 40K. Holy shit. Congratulations. I can't believe it. Actually, I can. No one ever won that much, ever. I told you, I feel lucky. And I never would have won if it weren't for you. No, that's all you. Come on, Mickey, don't be like that. You sold the golden ticket to me. Yeah, but I won't hear it. I'm giving you half of the money. No, Jay, you can't do that. I can, and I will. Are you sure? Absolutely. Here, you take the ticket and cash it out. I don't know if I can accept this. Sure you can. I don't know what to do with that much money anyway. Thank you so much, Jay. I can finally quit this shitty job off of 20K. I don't know. Whatever. And you can sell me a bottle of wine. What? To celebrate. No, I can't sell it to you. Well, I'll give it to you for free. Do you want 2, 3, 4? All of them? One will be fine. I'll go get it right away. This is important because it shows how he's using being stuck in the same day to his own advantage for things other than sexual assault. But surprise, surprise, he's only doing this so he can his mom. So this isn't a good look on his character. With the alcohol in hand, he goes back, talks with her again, and Elizabeth reveals that her ex cheated on her too. At this point, I'm like, incident, come on, spice it up. Another person got cheated on with and they need consoling because they broke up with the person that cheated on them with. Come on. So we flip back to dialogue tree where she left because she was too sober. And now she's plastered. She hugs the main character, and with that hug drinks more wine and then falls asleep. With her finally asleep, blackout drunk, he proceeds to long story short, lust theory is the Skyrim of incest. Yes, that is a great description. I'm looking at this video, look at the script, and I'm utterly shocked by how much I had to say about Nicole's arc. I didn't even begin to explain Jessica and how she also got taken advantage of when she was drunk because the main character loves alcohol. Okay, another game that I could not get my refund on. Another game I tried. I tried so hard and I couldn't get a refund.
给你机会你不中用啊！啊，给你机会你不中用啊！
I bought these in a package of 3 on sale for like $10, and I still want them a refund. It's so bad. It's not even entertaining enough to be good. It's tormenting. Everlasting depravity. Every single second spent thinking about these games makes me want to peel my own skin off with it. So for real though, these games are just boring and kind of janky. When I tried to play it to get some B-roll footage, this was the last thing I said before completely giving up on the adventure. Bro, okay, no, I'm done. How much time have I got on this game? 20 minutes, I'm done. No, I'm not playing this anymore, bro. Yeah, it's pretty bad. So to try and describe what it's like to play one of these 3 games I did play and did spend money on should suffice. Because I put in the time and effort. All 10 minutes each, I think. Okay, I thought I would put this right here. So this is feature editing me, again for the 15th time. How are you doing? A lot of revisions have been made on this video ever since I started it way back in early December. So the thing I want to mention here, and why I wanted to get ahead of time to talk about the next chapter if you scroll your mouse over about 2 pixels, is because when I decided to actually play more of Sex Hell or Sex Standing to get more B-roll footage and found out that there's more to the game than the first 20 minutes, which was absolutely horrendous, will turn anybody off. Every single turning of that phrase you can imagine.
What's all that movement back there?
By how janky the gameplay is, I actually started liking, and I actually want to see it to the end and therefore give a more thorough and full in-depth review of said games. And so that's why the Apocalypse 3D section and the standing section of the script of this video is massive. Now, Sex Hell, it is basically if you want to put as much bloatware as you possibly can in the video game to extend your runtime. Alright, I got extra. Damn! Alright. Bro, how am I getting lost? The inception of video games, like they would literally just make the game almost impossible. So you would have to put in way more time. So therefore, you're not just going to leave after 1 quarter in the machine or just want to quit playing the game and never want to pick up series again once you finish in like an hour, right? The amount of time they had for like the small amount of hardware they had. So therefore, make it impossible as possible again. That's what Sex Hell does. It has like these imaginably impossible mazes and portals that have horrific platforming that you have to kill all the enemies. And if you skip a zone, you have to go all the way back to that zone. If you go back to that zone, guess what? This happens. Oh my god, I just realized if I fall, I lose and die. Holy shit, bro. Holy shit, if I do this all over again. This game is so fucking stupid, bro. This game is so fucking stupid. Not only are there no checkpoints, but it do everything all over again. And it's just not fun or engaging enough to do this all over again. It's just not. It isn't. It's a dog shit game. So Sex Hell is easily the worst of the 3 games so far. And when that happens, you start it all over again, killing like 50 enemies in that same area, going through like 7 different portals. So it is extremely, extremely frustrating to play Sex Hell as a concept. And the other games are actually tolerable. And I'll get to that in a bit later. It's just not worth even playing for B-roll. It's so bad. It is worse than a mobile game. So the gameplay loop is basically the same very, very basic enemy models chasing you around the map, and the very dated weapon mechanics is the only thing to defend you. In some games there are limited ammo, and other games there aren't enough ammo to keep you going, so you have to like knife the enemies with the knife that doesn't really do anything, especially if you go in later levels and whatnot. But it just all seems so hell-bent on making this game bloated and long as possible, so you put as much gameplay as you possibly can before you get a refund. And on top of that, the achievements make no sense. In Sex Apocalypse, for example, they have an achievement called Kill 300 Zombies, which you do, but it's accumulative, right? So would that mean that the thought of you playing this game for longer than 30 minutes would equate to you getting 90% of the achievements? Because there's 13 achievements, and I got 10 or 13 of them and only play like an hour. Especially since the achievements here are collecting all the videos and all the photos, and you only get those videos and photos by playing this game nonstop until they give you the videos and photos randomly. There isn't necessarily like a way to speed run or a way to walk through guide to get as many of the photos and videos of NSFW scenes with zombies as you possibly can. It just happens. Like I remember like playing my second time around for the B-roll footage, and I beat like 3 or 4 rounds. I leveled up like 6 or 7 times and I unlocked videos. How did I even do that? New video, new photos. They don't show me how it's done. They don't really show you anything, because it's the same looping song. It's the same looping enemies. And if you get caught in the corner with the dogs coming chasing you like the zombies in Call of Duty Black Ops round 5, you can't do anything because it's too fast. Oh shit. Oh shit. Wait, I can auto the sniper? Oh! Whee! Damn it! Damn it! And also on top of that, the one thing I'll give this game is they thought of this little tiny mechanic that I haven't seen in many of the FPS games, is that you have a heavier weapon, you run slower. You have a lighter weapon, you run faster. And that's a good mechanic. Only problem is they don't really balance it, because the best weapon in this game, not only because of speed, but also on top of that, because you have one shots anyway if you headshot the enemies, is the pistol. And the pistol's best because unlimited ammo, and if you have a decent trigger finger, you can just keep spamming the shoot button and just clearing enemies. Now, it stopped being useful if you don't upgrade weapons enough, which you get the prompt after you finish a round. All right, so next plan, keep it pushing, baby. When you finish a round, the music stops entirely, and you're left here just to wander, getting the collectibles, which don't really mean anything. I think the collectibles are like a progress bar for the video or audio collection you gain in Sex Apocalypse. I don't know. I don't know. More thinking about this, more my brain tumor grows. The game itself is pretty bad. Only reason I want to play this game is to 100% it, because I want the 100% status to get my second 100% game ever. But besides that, not really worth it. Sex Hell, from what I remember correctly, it has a bit of a Doom knockoff aesthetic going on. I probably should play some B-roll just to get it in front of you. I really don't want to, but I'm such a good video essayist, I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm gonna sacrifice my time to get you guys that B-roll footage of a game I fucking hate, like this video. Anyway, just like that, you're also being chased by enemies. There are also some boss fights in this game, which I kind of give props for, because the other 2 games don't have boss fights. You're just fighting more and more hordes of zombies. The fact that Sex Hell gets a positive for having boss fights should show you how low the bar is for these games entirely. Now, the truly enamored necrophiliac could put in hours into this game to unlock those scenes, like I mentioned before, in Apocalypse. In Hell and Orgasm, I think the same thing as well, but different stipulations, but same end goal. You're doing this to unlock scenes. Now, the only problem with this is these said videos that I have watched for research purposes only last about 30 seconds, and it's on a loop. Because, yes, of course, that content is going to be that fulfilling. Because if it was, then this game wouldn't cost $10, it would cost 40. I'm okay with being bad at these games, because these games are shit. Alright, I have an update. So, I put an extra 2 hours across Sex Apocalypse, Sex Hell, and Sex Standing. And I have to say, The jank has grown on me. Yeah, the dogs are the biggest problem. Everybody else can deal with. Just focusing on them dogs, because I got that dog in me. I'm feeling like Michael Vick on the 3rd and 15. 3 ways here. I think it's going to go up to 50 enemies until I lose, basically. There's another way, please. I can't do this anymore. Dog's gone. I can just sit back and, 2% of people bought this game, 100% of this game, by the way. I'm going to be the 2%. Black bar meta, black bar meta. Oh, that's too close. Hey, look, it's a dick. She's so fast. Why are her arms so small compared to Shadow? What the hell? Look at that. Look at that. I'm the type of person who will get into something ironically. But one thing that grew on me about Sex Apocalypse more particularly, because that's the game I played the most in this 2-hour rerun of these games, is the jankiness plays in its favor if you adapt to it. Now again, with limited ammo, all the enemies are very one-dimensional, and on top of that, the sprint button being the shift key will have you awkwardly having your pinky or ring finger spamming that sprint button the entire time while you're running around. I am 30 minutes away from 100% in this game by the time this video comes out. I have 100%ed my second game in my life, Sex Apocalypse 3D.
Don't care, hey, IDC my G, you will never defeat me. Going on my legacy, non-stop keep on revving me. Despite all the lethargy, pissing on your effigy. Living how I'm meant to be, physically and mentally. Whoa.
I must say, I'm taking that one to the grave. When I first played this game, I'm like, there's no way you're getting this fucking achievement. There's no fucking possible way that's gonna be possible. Only 4% of people have done the collect all videos and all photos achievements. But I'm about to do this shit. I'm about to do it right now. Oh my god, boys. Chat. I did it. I put it on my whiteboard. Look at this. It's on my whiteboard. This is proof that I went above and beyond my Call of Duty. Instead of just giving this series a precautionary glance and calling it a day and saying both of these games are mid, all 3 of these games are mid, I went and beat both Sex Standing and Sex Apocalypse 3D. Oh, he's dead. Oh, okay. Well, he's dead. Woo! That's it. I beat Sex Standing. I 100%ed Sex Apocalypse 3D, which isn't that hard if you know how to play the game. But if you don't know how to play a game, it'll probably take you anywhere from like 5 to 6 hours, 100% this game. There is no plot to be mentioned, but I wanted to name the good and bad of both the enemies and the weapons itself. Again, this is Sex Apocalypse 3D, separate from Sex Stranding, even though it's made by the same company. So, I'm gonna start with the F tier. The lowest rated weapon I got is the bow and arrow. I don't know what they were thinking with this. Not only does it make you sprint the absolute slowest and walk, it's above the sniper for some reason in terms of damage, but at the same time, there is no reticle. It is utterly pointless. So you are shooting in the dark. While yes, it does one-shot even in mid to later levels in this game, what's the point of one-shotting things if you can't see where the shot is going? Not only that, but the tracking past like a foot in game is just bizarre. It's useless. It's trash. Don't even look at this weapon. Next up, the pistol. At first I was going to give this a B, but then I remembered every weapon ranked above it gets all the positives except the speed buff, which isn't that much if you know how to maneuver laterally in this game. At later levels, all mobs eat bullets, so therefore you kind of don't need a pistol at all. But what you can use is the AR, the automatic rifle, utterly broken. I use this for 70 to 80% of my runs that have been successful in this game, and actually the automatic rifle helped me get 100% in this game, so therefore you should use it.
That's what I'm talking about. This shit means something to me, man.
Short range, phenomenal. Long range, absolutely godsend, because you can use this for semi-automatic, like one shot, one tap, which is the main thing I complimented the pistol for. But you can use it in an automatic rifle and have the ability to use it full auto as well. Albeit the only downside is the recoil, but then again, it can be balanced out with the one shot, one tap semi-automatic rate. So therefore, A+ across the board. And then a shotgun, dog shit as well. Only useful in a very early level when it one-shots, because after that, because of the slow load rate and fire rate, it's kind of hard to justify its use, especially with the dog enemies in this game, which I've complained about numerous times. Alright, let's rate the mobs off the top of my head, and then that'll be it for the updates, and that should be it for all the gameplay for Zombie Apocalypse 3D that I haven't added in my first update. So, let's start off with the default zombie runners. They are from the highest I went to, I think was like level 16, 17 with like 40, 50, 60 enemies a wave. Even at they're still one shot with my automatic rifle. So I would say these default zombies like aren't even that fast. They're like very medium paced. They're the ones that you see in the very first few levels.
Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck?
Damn it! I took a chance with you! We're supposed to make it big! You... I found you on the side of the street with no hopes. All they use is brains. But you miss this bad. It's over. I gotta go back. Cause she didn't even kill you. She let you walk home. Damn it.
God damn it. Oh, shit.
Their health doesn't really go up that much, and on top of that, they are easy to spot. So I give them a 2 out of 10 in terms of difficulty. Very easy enemies. The torch fast mobs are almost photocopies of the default zombie running mobs because they're much faster and they give fire damage. It allows them to have a bigger hurt box on their end to hit you with. So instead of a default zombie having a very small hurt box and it only goes out as far as the arm does, the pixels on the flame animation just wavering to and fro with the torch in its hand allows it to have an extended hurt box and hit you, have a longer range than it would with a default zombie. So therefore, something to look out for, but not too much that is going to be a bigger threat than it's going to be a default zombie. So I'll give this ranking like a 3 out of 10. It is a little, actually 4 out of 10, because the speed is fast enough that you actually have to watch out for. So therefore, kind of important, but not enough to like focus them first. The next most difficult mob I would say is probably those big fat sloppy butcher mob that just run at like 0.1 miles an hour. Yes, of course, look how slow these guys run, right? Not that important, but if you don't focus on them while you're focusing on everything else, they can just one-shot you with 1 or 2 swings, no matter what your health is. One cleave of these guys acts, it takes half a health away. One shot merchant, the only reason why these guys are viable. If they get you in a corner, like at all, you're getting clapped. So that's why I give them like a 5 out of 10 in terms of difficulty, because like they are cannons. They are hurling big old meat rockets at your forehead. So I would say watch out for that for sure. But you can leave them for last because of how slow they run. The ones I'd say are like the second most dangerous, not the most dangerous, underneath the dogs, are the axe merchants. Axe merchant. Axe merchant. Axe merchant. Holy shit, you are trash. Not even fucking good mob, bro. You just throw a fucking axe. That's all you do. Because they run as fast as the torch mob zombies, which are the second fastest enemies in the game, but they are bigger than them, and they throw fucking axes that if you don't dodge them can take anywhere from 10 to 25% of your health with every single axe. And since there are anywhere from like 1 to 15 of these axe mobs per round, depending on how high you go, and they stop at the same time, they can throw 3 to 4 to 10 axes at you and you're dead instantly. So you have to watch out for every single axe they throw. And I bumped this up from a 5 out of time to now an 8 out of 10 because of how dangerous they are. They're fucking monsters, and because they're bigger enemies, they have more HP, so they are like a hybrid of Big Sloppy Joe in terms of like their HP, the amount of threat they carry, and also the amount of just menacing aura they just emanate, on top of the speed being somewhat similar to one of the faster mobs in the game. Horrific. Obviously, most difficult mob, I complain about them every single run I do in this gameplay here, the dog.
Oh my god.
They are so fucking horrifying. Not only because they're so fast, but because if you don't Pay attention. If you aren't looking for them every single round, every single time they're out, you don't hear them, you don't see them, they're going to take your health down to 20%, 30% in a blink of an eye without even noticing. And don't even get me started on you no clipping into some bench or into some wall, into a corner, and 3 of them are surrounding you. That's it, you lose. You cannot jump over them, you're just getting chomped at the ankles. That's it, game over. Oh no. Oh no, bro. You shouldn't be able to get trapped like that. That's not fair. So they will end your run if you just so happen to get into a corner wrong. You just so happen to get a pixel off of your calculation, your box in the corner. I would say the only weakness is lateral movement. If you can just move to the right or to the left, right when they're about to lunge at you, they will just keep going straight in that direction for about another 2 seconds and then turn around and then charge you again. I would say the AR is the main reason why I chose the weapon here, because if you have the AR and they just absolutely keep running in a line and they turn around, charge at you again, just gun them all down. It's gonna be a butcher shop, just straight meat pocket just falling to the ground. That is me ranking all the enemies in Apocalypse 3D. I don't know if you will ever use this knowledge ever again in your life, but there it is. I gave it to you. Teehee. But I also fully beat Sex Training, and I have an updated review on that one. Let's go through this, shall we? So first of all, we have the plot. Now, the plot itself, very straightforward. You have a sex robot, which is meant to be you, helping this futuristic military colony in both sexual relief and reconnaissance. And that means going and getting equipment for them, since you can lift 3.5 tons canonically. What's up, buddy? Oh my god, do you see that, Willie? Nice boobs. Brand new model, Servant Extra Bot TO69. Okay, alright. 3.5 tons and bring it back to them, or putting it in the right place. Like for example, you have to build a bridge to go across to open up a gateway that has been locked from the other side. Once you open up that bridge, you can then complete the last few missions, since you have that whole entire map open. Now, if you ignore all of the default package graphics looking sameness going on here, and the fact that a lot of your enemies are standing still, like uninteractive NPCs, as if like they're just going to spawn in once you enter the radius. Once you ignore all that stuff, get into the gameplay loop of the game, there is a plot to be had here. So you do stuff like that, and on top of that as well, you are killing a bunch of raiders, a bunch of robots, and a bunch of, actually that's it, raiders and robots. And they both bleed the same amount of blood, they both have the same amount of like damage mechanics. If you shoot them, they have the same amount of health as well. Everything's the same. So there isn't much variety other than their weapons. So that's something to look forward to. But once they ambush you, that's when it starts getting hairy, because you can't necessarily hear footsteps or hear them like doing anything until they start shooting you or hitting you. So that's very important to notice if you are a Turtle Beach Andy there when you go into play Sex Stranding. But it's just like Death Stranding, where you're going to be delivering a lot of stuff, you're going to be carrying a lot of stuff, you're going to be walking around a lot of stuff, and the stuff that you carry and deliver takes damage. Bro, be serious. Why are they giving me achievements for losing this game, bro? Come on. Ah, fuck, I'm just gonna run. Fuck off. Fuck on my way. Well, I'm actually having more success by just running than I actually am like shooting it out. This game's so bullshit. And you're gonna be doing a lot of back and forth, and you get rewarded when you finish a task with a GIF of NSFW scene with the same default model and your character naked. That's it. That's all there is. And once you do that enough times, you finally beat the final boss, Big Dick, and they have a final joke, and the joke is death by snoo snoo, haha, come back, get the treasure, and you get 20 billion cum bucks. The end. Oh yes, that big old pylon fit inside a treasure chest. Oh yeah, no, that makes sense. What is it? Wait, what is that? Is that desert treasure? Our friend. Fish friend, not food. Raiders are gone and dessert is free. Hugs tightly. Alright, SB, now to the okay. Then SB had a lot of adventures. Mining station was fully restored and gave enough resources to raise the what economy? There's like 10 dudes here. It's like an army base. What economy is there? The old city wasn't rebuilt, but it became a grave for the past of that sector, so everybody remembers it. And the small town near the border started to grow. After a few years, a new center of life and business. SP still works there, even though new sex bot models were developed. This one became a true integral member of that city. Integral. The end. Now, can you spend these bucks on items after you buy the whole shop out? No. But what is the shop? I'm going to tell you that in a second. But first of all, we need to talk about the 2 worst missions of this game that I have cried and bitched and moaned when I was playing this game. Because I played all the footage and I recorded it live so you can see my pain, suffering, and agony live. Here's a couple clips from that. So the main thing is from the platforming hell itself, which is like the second, the third, the final stage you play. And basically, it's twofold. Number one, you have to get these generators and these whatever the hell this is. You put them into another generator and it keeps energy flowing so the military colony can have enough energy to like spawn a society at the end of the video, what they're showing, right? But what they don't tell you is that how janky their platforming is, right? You cannot double tap either direction to like precision measure up what you want to do to the perfect pixel to get that jumping angle perfect. Because if you do, you souls roll, dodge roll out of the platforming thing you're on, you land, boom, you fall down. The thing is, if you can fall down and regenerate your health every single time you fall down without the item taking damage, that'd be great. But guess what? The moment you start this mission, you are locked in, saved with the items on your back. So therefore, you cannot drop an item. So you have to carefully either strategize and max out your amount of health you can have for your cargo to have, so therefore you can make more drops, or just don't fall off the platform, which is going to be damn near impossible because no matter what you do, you stay in a straight line, you jump, it's going to have a veering right angle. So even if you're jumping straight, you're going to be swerving to the right. So you have to calculate for that when you jump. And even if you do that, if you don't specifically angle it, not only with your mouse, not only with your character model, but with every single pixel on the other end of the platform, you don't calculate for that as well, you're going to fall off every single time. I can just make it. Nah, I got 2 more jumps to make. Okay. Oh. No! I got one more try. Come on. Lock in, twin. Damn it. Okay. So here. Okay. No! Bro! Like... Even on this stuff, where it's as close as you possibly get, as I thought I was safe, because you can't scale how far you jump, you just max jump every single time. And since it scales with your default jogging model, not just sprinting model, your jogging model, even if you go on a full walk, you still do a run jump, even if you're walking, which doesn't make any sense because why wouldn't you walk jump? But that's the thing too, they make you walk jump if you don't calculate that as well. So therefore, there's a smidgen less of a distance you go if you walk jump, but if you jog jump, you do the full thing. If you sprint jump, it's also the full thing, but less control up until the point you're jumping. So therefore, the best way to jump would be 70% of the times you're going to be doing running jumps, and then 30% of the time if you want precision jumps, you want to do walking jumps. And if you get all this down pack, you'll be lucky to survive 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rounds of you dying because you fell off so many times. Luckily, the checkpoints are forgiving, so therefore you keep doing it over and over again, but it gets to a point where it's pointless because you have to go do this all over again on the next stage, where it's just you climbing up a bunch of square platforms that have holes in them out of nowhere that you can fall through and have to make it all over again. Platforming is ridiculous in the game. Why is it platforming at all? I don't fucking know. And platforming gets ridiculous because the mechanics maneuvering itself are so clunky that the next most annoying mission is putting poles in the ground. I am a speed merchant. You know what? You got it. Alright? This is as far as I'm playing this game. This is way too janky. I know I can easily beat this, but no. Mr. Trump, please, Mr. Trump, save me, Mr. Trump. Donald Trump, please save me. Why, bro? You have got... You get a mission to put poles into these specific holes in the ground. And if you don't do them correctly, you don't look at the holes and wait till they turn green, you highlight them and then press the E button, then guess what? It doesn't count. And guess what you have to do? You have to do all this where you're getting shot at by like 20 different enemies. I was trying to speed run it every single time. I was trying to speed run like boom, 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 but I can't do that because it takes like anywhere from 3 to 7 seconds to absolutely line your reticle up to get it into the hole properly. And if you don't do that, then you're just sitting there and just waiting for you to line it up. So what I had to do was I had to kill every single enemy, or at least most of them, in my way that can see me so I don't get shot up when I'm trying to line up this pole. Because it takes anywhere from 2 to 7 seconds of direct gunfire for my cargo health to go from on 100% to 0. Doesn't matter if it's a sword, doesn't matter if it's bullets. 2 to 7 seconds, I am dead. So I have to calculate for everything. And even if I have 1% health, it doesn't matter. As long as I finish a mission, it is done. It's not Death Stranding where you get bonus points or deducted when you have more or less health. It's very forgiving on that front. So I am grateful that it has forgiving checkpoints and forgiving health thresholds, because I swear to God, if they're telling me I'm getting punished for having low amount of health for delivering my cargo, even though I'm getting punished for directly because of the fact that this game's mechanics are horrific when it comes to targeting and shit like that, and how it just, the bullets are 100% finding no matter what you do, I would have lost, I would have broken my computer, I would have broken your brain describing that horrific mechanic. But luckily it is more forgiving, therefore it is okay. But yeah, I'm running through these bullets. I'm trying to duck and dodge, weave. I'm testing every single weapon. The sniper doesn't fucking work. The knife damn sure doesn't fucking work. And I can't drop all these poles off, kill all of them, and then go back, pick them all up, and then drop. No. I have to carry everything and shoot them. And because, like I mentioned before, they're all like homing bullets and missiles that are coming from their guns, it is almost impossible to try to strategize long distance, short distance. What I had to end up doing was finding out where each of them were, like geolocation wise, run up to them, gun them down before they can even look at me, do that about 20 different times until I was down to like the last 2 or 3 poles. And then when I'm done like the last 2 or 3 poles, say fuck it and just run the distance. Since I had max speed to begin with, it was almost impossible for them to catch up with me. If there's more than 3 enemies, then I can't outrun them because they can just go to a certain location that is within their zone of firing me, since they have a long range weapon that works for some fucking reason. Mine don't, no matter how fast I'm going. But because there's less than 3 enemies, I can outrun them. And holy fucking shit, this game is janky. And on top of that, the Steam achievements are broken in Sex Stranding, whatever you want to call it. I bought all of the perks here. You can see me buying them. You see the achievements pulling up on the bottom right of my screen here, but the buy all perks achievement does not pop up. So I beat the game. There's nothing else for me to buy in this fucking game. Yet Steam is still saying not only are there 5 more things for me to do, but I still have to buy more things out of the shop. So either that means I have to go and complete all these missions again to buy all these items again, or just live with the fact that I can't 100% this game, which I am okay with because I'm not 100% in this fucking dog shit game. I bought everything. Why aren't you getting like fucking perk shit, man? At least with Strive 3D, there was something to strive for. I felt like I was achieving something and strategically having it pay off. But with standing, no. You just run, jump, no skill required, use it to beat this game. You have to like absolutely min-max every single fucking thing you possibly can to get anything done in this game. Otherwise, you are going to be stuck in mediocrity for the rest of your fucking life. Actually, that is probably the quickest way to beat this game, is just running. That's it. You take more damage going head to head with people. Like there's one map I remember trying to do a mission, or I had to turn on different machines on a platform, and there were different corridors that would lock you in if you don't laser focus your character model until looking at the reticle, until looking at the machine until it turns green, and boom, waiting a second for feedback. Doing that 10 different times where like 20 different enemies are shooting at you. It's ridiculous. It's insane. It's too much. So with that all said, let's rate the perks and the weapons for Sex Standing, because hey, you know what? If you're gonna play this game, you might as well be prepared for everything there is to do for it. Because you know what? I gave up. I didn't want to 100% this, but I believe one of you motherfuckers out there are going to 100% this game and are going to prove it to me by sending it to me on Twitter or Discord or whatever. And if you do it, I'll give you a shout out, because that is commendable. I'm not gonna lie. That is very, very, I will give you a personal shout out. I have no idea, but yeah. If you do that, let me know. Anyway.
You still got it, don't you, buddy? Yeah, you still got it.
We have crate health. Crate health, as it states, is the max HP of the containers you are carrying. I would suggest maxing the ever-loving fuck out of this first, because the crates are being carried half the time, like I mentioned before, that you can't drop them, and you're being shot at, again, the half the time you're carrying these crates, which are so important that if they get damaged enough with the yellow health bar here, then the mission ends. So as much health as you possibly can put into the crates, do it immediately. It'll save you so much time, especially since the last few missions are you fighting with the crates on your back. Speed, also pretty clutch. I put this in like terms of importance, like secondary, because it allows you to speed run certain levels. Because certain levels you can just like in and out, no sweat off your ball sack. Extremely easy. But the downside is the platforming with max speed is absolute torture. And I would suggest you pacing this around max level once you get over the platforming hell, which is going to be after you open the bridge door. So I would say after you do the pole level, get your speed up to around 2, get the platforming shit done, and then max the fuck out of that speed and you'll be fine. Grenade. Hot take, ignore the fuck out of this grenade perk. Do not use the grenade perk.
I ain't see my cousin in a long ass time. You bitch ass niggas, he gonna die behind me. Fuck is you talking about? And he crippin'.
Nah, delete that.
I thought you was still crippin'.
Delete that, bro.
You not crippin' no more?
Delete that. Delete that, bro.
Do not get this grenade perk unless it is the end of the game and you want the achievement, which if you're 100% in this game, you're gonna need to do it anyway. Ammo. It's pretty good. Again, in that secondary tier, it goes up exponentially for more ammo you buy, so definitely something to look at, especially if you're upgrading weapons. So I would say pace the upgrading of ammo with upgrading weapons. So therefore, you have something to look forward to when you upgrade your weapons, because ammo goes really fast when you have to fight 10, 20, 30 enemies a mission. Health regen and health in general. Once you get to like 3 or max, you're basically invincible. So I would say if you were going to optimize this as much as you possibly can, get this level 2, you'd be fine for most, not all the gameplay up until the end, because you'll need more than like 2 level ups of this health, honestly. All right, now let's get to ranking the weapons in Sex Stranding, because these are pretty important as well.
God, somebody is musty as fuck. Bitch, I was been smelt it. I just ain't know what it was. Oh my god.
That's a fucking shame.
The sword. Holy hell, the sword is useless. Me. Yes, that's okay. Now find those bastards and kill them. Don't forget your sword. I have my sword. Don't remind me. You're stupid and dumb. I'm wondering what this angle's for. Curious. It's the first weapon they give you, the first weapon that you notice is just absolute jank. And one of the easiest mobs to kill has the sword melee weapon. So that's how you know how dog shit weapon is. You try to run up to somebody, you're getting shot and dying every single time. Because guess what? They have homing tracking bullets that kill you from 2 to 7 seconds. And guess how long it takes you to get to an enemy? Anywhere from 2 to 7 seconds. So you're going to die. Unless you have max speed upgrades, which then, even in that case, with max speed and a melee weapon, you're going to die faster. So therefore, in that instance, focus on everything else except this sword. This sword is specifically there to bloat time. If you're stupid enough to keep using the sword, you're going to put more game time, play time into this game, therefore making this game seem like it's more of a good thing to use. So therefore, do not use the sword. 5th, sniper rifle.
Nice shot.
This sniper goes so hard, bro. Too bad it doesn't fucking aim. Horrible weapon in this game. Since bullet tracking in this game doesn't exist, you can't use it in long range at all. And the only way this weapon is absolutely useful is when you get it at max rank, which at that point, you beast the game at that point, you know? So what are you even doing for? It is horrible on every front. The fire rate, dog shit. Short range, dog shit. Medium range, dog shit. Reticle, dog, everything is just horrible. And it has no ammo on top of that, so do not get the sniper. Number 4, grenade. Off the chain, no anal beads. Put on their neck, killing them breed. Niggas be stupid, killing them breed. Ain't calling cops, watching them bleed. I only used this like 10 total times in about 2 skirmishes out of like the 40 skirmishes I had in this game. And when I used it, the range is so short, I had to run up to the enemy, throw it, go back to cover, hide, hear it blow up, go back, and it's still running at me. Since there are no health bars, I couldn't determine how much damage this did, because when I put my weapon to shoot them, it took the same amount of time to kill them as if I didn't use a grenade. So therefore, I'm only assuming either they ran out of the range a grenade was thrown in, since it was down a hill and a slope here, or it does so little damage that doesn't fucking matter at all. And in that front, why even use a grenade at all? Which adds to my point of do not upgrade a grenade perk unless you're getting the achievement, which at that point you already beat the game, that you have like the most amount of money, which is around $6 million at the end of the game. 3rd, the pistol.
Pull that trigger, you never.
At max level, it is somewhat usable. It's a slow and steady fire rate, making reliable medium range, but again, the horrible bullet tracking makes it got off on long range anyway, so therefore I would suggest not focusing on anything long range at all. Since you shoot a bullet, it goes about like 10-20 feet away from you, it starts veering right or left immediately, like a repellent. Number 2, the submachine gun. It's really, really good in short range and it got me out of a lot of hair situations. I would say the best pairing, like in terms of optimization, is max speed, max submachine gun, because you just run and gun. You just go in there, you have max ammo on top of this, have 45 to 50 bullets in a clip, I believe. So you're gonna run max speed, warp speed it feels like, gun them down while you're running, and in about like 2 to 3 seconds, they're down. Instantly, go to the next one, down, right? It's very useful. Almost feels like a shotgun, but it isn't a shotgun, so I can't even call it a shotgun, but it feels like a shotgun. Downside though, there is no medium range good or as good as the assault rifle, and long range, what are you doing at this point? And of course, number one is the assault rifle.
The San Antonio Spurs are NBA champions once again, their 4th title in 9 years.
Just like in 3D, Sex 3D. It is absolutely busted. Once you get the minimum of 2 upgrades, you're already extremely good in all ranges, even in long range. Which, again, I don't know how the fuck you're using long range at all in this game, since long range is basically impossible. But somehow, the automatic rifle does the trick. It doesn't excel in short range and medium range like the submachine gun does, but because it is absolutely optimal and usable in long range at all, and can be used in medium and short range, it is one of the most go-to weapons to go to. Only downside is obviously the ammo side, but it has 30 bullets in the clip, so it's usable regardless. It saved the gameplay. It made it absolutely somewhat entertaining for me to finish this game, so therefore, AR, go. So in terms of enemy variation, there isn't that much of it going on. I mentioned beforehand, it's just the weapons they use. They use snipers, they use assault rifles, submachine guns, and knife. That's basically it. So that is that on Sex Standing. I hope that very extensive review of the game itself makes you want to play it, not play it, or whatever it is you want to do with your life. It's your money. It's your 10 bucks. I'm not even kidding you. I cannot believe looking into the script now after giving this another try, it has made my day a lot better. I was very bored, very lethargic. I've been full of 30 meals of Thanksgiving and Christmas leftovers. I play Sex Apocalypse 3D. Boom, my mood has changed. Now, all my criticisms still stand with Sex Hell. It's just you running around in a maze. And the Sex Standing is basically just Death Stranding, except every mission you do complete, you just have sex with the person who gives you the mission. I have a few complaints about this game here and there, but overall it's not that bad, and compared to Sex Hell, this is a AAA studio that is meant to go to the moon. But those are my brimming reviews so far, and I have most of the gameplay footage from Sex Standing anyway that I can show you here, so that should suffice of my criticism there. Alright, let's enough talking about games that make me fucking mad. Let's talk about things that don't make me mad, like the lore of this channel. Wow, you did it. You made it this far. Honestly, I'm going to be the first person to ever tell you this. I'm proud of you. You made it through amount of time to get to this point in the video, and the rest of it is just explained, like I mentioned earlier, the lore of the channel. Why it's here, my magnum opus, whatever it's called, magnum opus, the primal, plural version of that word. And also on top of that, what each of those reviews mean to me. Because I just recently stumbled upon the Boku no Pico review I did. I didn't realize I did that one until like a month ago, because it was on Facebook. And I don't go, if you go on Facebook in the year 2023 and you're not 50 years old, you deserve to get. So with that all out the way, the explanation of lust theory, and the explanation of under contract, and the explanation of all the Sex Apocalypse 3D games, we have what makes this channel what it is, in the lore itself. Aren't you interested? Don't you want to find out why I've been doing this for going on 5 years now? It depends on when I put this video out, Jesus Christ. This is like Christmas for me right now, but to you, it could be like Labor Day or something, you know, I don't fucking know. I wanted to make another cameo because I got a nice cut, man, you know, it just, you know what I'm saying? Got a little shirt too, got a poster too, you know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah, without further ado, let's get into the lore. Oh, see it. Oh, I'm looking right now. Smashing you again. I know she didn't do it last time. You made it this far, you like the video. Hit like on the video, subscribe, and if you want to join the channel, you don't have to, but you have to like and subscribe. So do that first, and then consider the other option. Okay, for real now, I'm going. Also, Cyber City Dito 808, while it wasn't my best work, it was one I genuinely loved doing. I mean, look at that smile. Look at that whimsy. My God. I sure hope that young man doesn't stay at that job for a year and ruin his life for the foreseeable future. Added to the fact that I was on the road for a month working a job I absolutely hated and getting paid $10 an hour on top of that, I could unironically make a Cyber City Dito 808 Save My Life video because it's one of the main reasons why I still have this channel. I bring this up because it has taken months, if not years, to get back to the peak of inspiration to watch these Valve films and review them for you guys. Mainly because I feel like once I'm in that zone, I can literally go on for, well, you should link this video. So why was this channel started? What was the point of all this? Why are there over 170 videos of me reviewing said adult content? Well, let's get right into it, shall we? I do take pride in making these videos, these depraved reviews. That's it, end of the video. Random content creator advice if you didn't make it this far. If you are not in the mood and there is no deadline to be met, do not rush. There are a few videos that I single-handedly deleted because of how poor the quality was up to my standard at the time. Examples would be finding a series I had no interest in whatsoever and still doing a review on it anyway. Originally, I was going to say Succubus Stayed Life was one of those videos I removed. However, looking back at the video and the description, I might put that in the opposite category. Still to this day, until I went and checked it myself, I believe that it was one of the worst videos I have ever made in my life. Mainly because I remember when I reviewed that video, it had no B-roll footage because the source material was just cheeks getting clapped. So I had to loop a lot of the SFW footage like it was a GIF. And the entire process of editing it, my computer crashing nonstop, and on top of that, this clip here, having to record this again because I got a new computer and it decided to want to fuck on me, made me chalk it up to being a horrible video, when in reality it was just a horrible editing experience given my environmental conditions. So to my surprise, when I look back at the video, I was having a blast. Look at this man smiling again. I haven't seen that smile since 1973. And even after recognizing the poor audio and video editing quality, I can see why I was misled to thinking the video itself was something that I hated. But I'm glad I looked back at that because that's also part of the reason why I made this video, to catch up any old, current, and new viewers on the gaps in between my videos in my catalog, on top of reviewing all the games you just watched before. I didn't know how much I like reviewing. For example, if you go to my channel right now, which if you already are, hey, hit that subscribe button. If you look at my channel right now, there's a couple gaps that I can explain right here and now, since we're already in the mood of sharing each other's thoughts and opinions. So if you look, scroll down past my wonderful daily upload a week arc, which is beautiful by the way, and you go to the video titled If It Possibly Can't Get Any Worse Was a Manga. That was the last video I made before I broke up with my ex. Now, this series of videos of me reading manga, that totaling about 6 videos in this arc, were two things. One, me experimenting with different thumbnails because I did make the thumbnails a lot more popping. I made them more YouTube friendly. Also on top of that, I want to see if I want to try a new format, because the videos before that, such as I watched For Lewd Anime made by Shoten So You Don't Have To, the Rizbox, and the Makai Kishi Ingrid Watching for the Plots, took a lot out of me. I remember at this point I was reaching and peaking at burnout. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I didn't want to make any second channel videos. I didn't want to make any third channel videos. I didn't even want to make any reviews at all because I was getting into reading manga again. And looking back on it, should I have done this algorithmically? Probably not, but at the same time, making these videos were probably the most fun I've ever had in a minute. I'm not gonna lie. Just sitting here, just live reading, doing live research on these videos was engaging with me. Now, obviously, you guys didn't watch it that much because of change of pace, but I love making these videos. And on top of that, the original plan was I was going to make video essays on the videos I was going to be reviewing of the manga, but I ended up reading the manga so much and I thought it was entertaining enough to make it as a video of itself. That would explain the 2-hour Boruto video, right? That one, bro. I'm looking back at this now. It's 2-hour Boruto video. It is the most insane and deranged I've ever been because I read 10 chapters of Boruto and they're like 60 pages each. So that's why it's 2 hours. That's the most fun I had making a video for the past like 2 years, I think. 3.5 to 6. Well, 1, 2, 3. I read 3.5 chapters for you dumb fucks, okay? I'm not making it. I'm not finishing this to 79. There's no way I'm doing this. When I get to 6 to 10, I'm gonna edit this down and call it like the brain melting hours or whatever. I just can't see myself reading past chapter 10. I can't, man. Yeah, but the reason why I'd stop there, I kind of want to go back to making the hentai reviews. Because, spoiler alert, it is kind of fun to make them. So that would explain that first gap there. And the second gap, very similar to that one, would be the gap when I have the video, The End of FNL47 and Watching for the Plot. This video here, which I find very interesting as well, because after this is another 6 video arc until I get back into reviewing hentai again, which, hey, if you ever see me uploading different videos, different genre, expect 6 more of those and expect me to take a month, 3-month hiatus and get back to things as if they normally were, because this flow is a bit too common for me to even. The synopsis of this RIP FNL47 video, which is hilarious by the way, is when I uploaded my original Henadori video way back like 5-6 years ago, Henadori and Haisibyoto. When I uploaded those 2 videos, I had a lot of B-roll footage of the actual hentai itself in the video, so much so that the YouTube copyright system that was sweeping and deleting videos that had just upright hentai on the channel found my video and told me, we're deleting this shit, buddy. Not a copyright strike, not a copyright takedown, we're just deleting this shit because it has too much B-roll footage. It's showing NSFW content. And I'm sitting there like, no, it's the end of the world. Little did I know, all I had to do was just not include as much raw footage, pun intended, of the show I'm reviewing itself, and I'd still be fine. Sitting above board with YouTube, because they mainly review like half my videos anyway. So shout out to the one guy who has to watch my content. I feel so sorry for you.
See you later.
Leaving so soon?
Yes, I'm so sorry.
I reviewed Inuyasha Picks Kagome, I reviewed Watch It for the Plot Masterpiece, I reviewed Bad Black, I reviewed Asamed Jojo Chu, which are technically still hentais, but ecchi, so therefore NC-17 content instead of like adult content. I did Bad Black and Strange Things About the Johnsons, mainly because I wanted to branch out. I wanted to see how far I can go with this thing. And the furthest I got was a random free YouTube movie. It was about a town that had devil sacrifices in it that God knows what the name of the movie was whatsoever. It was a free YouTube movie, so it wasn't that fucking good. But it was so trash, it was so funny, there's so many tropes going on there. I was in the process of editing that video, and then when I finally was about to hit render and make my 7th video in my arc of being free from reviewing hentai, my computer broke. And when my computer broke, my brain broke. And so I took like a month or 2-month hiatus here and then got back into the hentai reviews. But that laptop breaking made me realize that while yes, I won't enjoy reviewing hentai forever, I do enjoy it when I do enjoy editing and trying to make it sound a palatable experience or horrific experience. Because like I mentioned before, this is my most popular video. The bondage game video is still one of the funniest ones that I even watch till this day. Like half the views are probably my own views, to be honest here, on Megalo. Because there's so much shit I left out in bondage game that still to this day, if I added in there, would double the length of the video. But the stuff I put in there was funny enough, you know, to make me laugh, you know what I'm saying? Those are the 2 main gaps in my channel that I am aware of that people didn't really have that much information about, but now you know. Since we're reminiscing, I didn't know how much I liked the Boku no Pico review until I rewatched it. I didn't realize how much I memorized Pigeon Blood, even though I haven't watched that show until the video came out, until again, I rewatched it. The watching for the plot mythos outgrew me to a certain point, and I didn't want that to happen. I always thought every video was going to be something I enjoyed putting out, something not necessarily world-changing, but it can give someone a double take. With a ridiculous quote as, what do you mean someone watch the entire Onichichi universe and give a review on it? What are you talking about? So if we did the math, out of 173 videos as of recording that I've uploaded, around 3 I have either unlisted, deleted, and nuked off the channel, i.e. massive regret. Therefore making a 1.5% regret rate for my channel. I say, hey, that's pretty pog if you ask me. With this channel starting off as a joke, turning to something that possibly consider investing more into the channel to see how far I can truly go. Take note, if there's anything that you want to do, that you have been hesitant on, simply because of the fact that you don't think it's good enough, just do it. If you have the means to get started right now, I don't want to hear any excuses. You can't watch this channel and watch your dreams slip right past you. That math doesn't add up.
You're sitting on the couch, you're watching TV, and your life is passing you by. You keep procrastinating over and over. Well, maybe I'll go to school next year, maybe next semester. No, do it right now.
It's been an hour, bro. Jesus fucking Christ. Help me! So I would personally say I have a few magnum opii, opium. What is the plural for that word? These would be Bible Black, Pigeon Blood, Boku no Pico, and Milk Money. Now, obviously, does that mean everything else up until this point is mid? No. I'm just saying these are the reviews that I can watch at any point in time and be like, damn, someone cooked here. Also, each of these videos sparked a new arc in forms of how I viewed what the hell this channel is about in the first place, up into the point of why I should continue doing this. Milk Money helped me with the possibility that any review next could be an absolute gem. I love, and I mean adore, going through the refuse of the internet and finding absolute dog water, hog piss shows and roasting them for about 10 minutes straight. It's my second favorite hobby. At this point where I'm at now in my illustrious YouTube career, as a niche macro celebrity, one of the main reasons I keep going is to find something better around the corner. Sometimes it's something worse, but that is also good because then I can rant about that for 15 minutes nonstop. So honestly, it's a win-win regardless. On top of that, if I can't go any lower, there'll always be the rare few bottom-dwelling cretins who have dredged even further into the depths that I will allow myself to do so. An example of this is the fact that Bondage Game was recommended to me by several viewers over the years before the video even dropped. So therefore, I can say I had it on a back burner for quite some time, but never took it seriously because I never focused on it. But once I did, man, oh man. And the main reason that is because it always has been a spur of the moment type of operation going on around here. 50% of the time, I wouldn't want to script anything to expedite the recording process, thus making it harder to map out chronological order for my reviews. Thus, you get a stretch of time where I would just be watching 80s and 90s hentai, and then boom, current day 4K Ultra HD fluid animation. Shout out to Vince here 98, Eurovlogs, and CPU 333 for putting me onto this Bondage Game specifically. While yes, it was everything you all said and more, it was also an experience that I shared. It made me truly question why I love or hate things. It made me test where my ethics stand, and it finally made me realize that maybe some people should just never see the light of day, like the creators of this series.
Rate me on a scale of 1 to 10.
Solid 8.
Thank you. What would make me a 10?
If you had a huge
I remember the origin of this channel and the borderline year-long process it took to make Bubble Black. It was on a cheap $200 laptop that crashed on me while I was trying to make the review. And during the whole process of me being like, man, I hope I get views because people need to see this, I was very cheerful, optimistic, and even looking forward to the back and forth I would have with you guys. And when I hit a wall, that same wall I've hit at least once or twice every year that comes up during the channel's duration, that wall was the fact that my ambitions were higher than my current skill cap. It felt like I couldn't pass the skill check, you know, on my Baldur's Gate 3 reference here. I lost track of how many times it crashed, but I do remember that the further I got into it, the more enraged and motivated I got to just see the end. Because this was one of the very few series that I've ever watched in my life that made me want to tell the entire world about it. And like I mentioned before, the hunt for finding more videos like that is 90% of the reason why this channel exists. If there ever is a point where I start making these videos, because I'll be honest, I found enough shows that made me question everything and I've moved on, which is a sad thing to think about, but realizing that now makes a lot more sense because that's why this thing got started in the first place. I had to let people know how amazing Bone Black was to me. The stupid skits I put in there and the dumb jokes, everything. In what context would I ever be able to pull off this sentence and not be locked into a mental asylum? Now, if you're interested in anal waterboarding, then episode 3 is for you. Like many other YouTubers, the seed of narcissism was planted the day I hit upload. Jokes aside though, I do love sharing these shows with people. I genuinely do. Milk Money to me was short, sweet, and reminded me of those old creepypastas I used to watch in 2010s when I was playing Batman Arkham Asylum. Deranged older woman chains up dudes in her basement until they die due to malnutrition. Like, I'm not gonna lie, who in God's name would even continue watching the show unless there was an end goal? And said end goal is, I guess, to make fun of it or get off? I don't know. Anyway, it was amazing. I also got to flex my musical skill, which, hey, phenomenal. I don't know if you guys have known this, but back in my heyday, before the channel even started, I made a decent catalog of music under the moniker of Drody Piss Whip. But all that is deleted except like 6 songs. Milk Money to me represented one of the more funny reasons why the channel exists, and I will always cherish it as so. Now, you could argue that the Night Shift Nurse series amount of episodes was enough to make someone insane, which I would agree with, but I feel like it's an accidental satire of medical rom-coms, therefore making it somewhat engaging and entertaining within itself, therefore making it a lot more palatable. Now, someone can look up the dating between Grey's Anatomy and Night Shift Nurses, see which one came first, because if Night Shift Nurses came first, then we'd be living in a universe where Grey's Anatomy copied Night Shift Nurses.
Spare change, ma'am.
Boku no Pico. This one means a lot to me because watching for the plot, part of the reason why the series exists as well is to challenge myself. Realizing the can of worms I may have opened with making this channel, I started watching other reviews to get a fresher perspective of what you ask on basically how I should go about making content, or hell, how to find new videos. And then boom, some Mo Gaming's Boku no Pico review came up on my timeline, on my recommended feed. Now, when I was watching the channel at the time, it was during my mega weeb phase, during the channel's inception. Now, I don't have that anymore because all I do is watch hentai and sports. That's it, that's all I do. So I'm sorry my anime collection that you saw for 2 seconds in the video, you were gaining dust. The series here that he was reviewing reminded me of all the memories floating back in my brain when there was a funny trend of your friends trying to surprise you with blue waffle. The act of trying to trick your friends into being as internet poison as you are by sending them cursed links of one guy, one jar, Boku no Pico, etc., etc. This made me realize, oh man, wouldn't it be crazy if I did this to, you know, as the plot reviewer and all. If I recall, I mentioned this in passing because I don't see too much evidence video-wise of me mentioning it to my viewers, other than my second channel video of me saying as a 600 subscriber reward, I could possibly do this. Now, I put that thought on the back shelf for months. At this point, subscriber climb was very slow, very dreadful, and I thought 600 was gonna be impossible, and I hit it. So boys, we did it. 600 subscribers. Here it is. Boku no Pico review is on the way. But yeah, I did eventually fall through with it. And man, let me tell you, it was quite a slog. I can't say I enjoyed it at all, nor can I even joke about it, because it was quite a brutal watch. This disclaimer on the top of this Crunch Disorder copy of the review I made is like having barriers made of toilet paper to stop people from entering Forbidden Area. Useless. I have a ton of questions that I know would never be answered for obvious reasons. One of the main ones being this screenshot at the very beginning of the show. I mean, as the saying goes, if it walks like a duck, etc. And while I had dreams of doing this YouTube thing for money, the subscribers and views were saying otherwise. But for some reason, might be my unchecked ego, this sparked a Herculean effort of willpower in me to keep pushing, to keep reviewing the film that should never see the light of day. What is a better way of getting deeper immersed into said role than reviewing? To this day, it is one of the funny videos I've ever made for two reasons. Number one, I left so much out of it for my sanity and yours, and it still explains the entire plot. And number two, it's on Facebook.com. For real, go there right now. It's still up, and the lore behind that is even funnier. Long story short, YouTube didn't like this whatsoever. YouTube wanted to get rid of any mention of Boku no Pico, any B-roll footage, any reviews, gone. So when I put it up, they blocked it. I had a couple videos here explaining the entire process of me getting frustrated about it, yada yada. I tried Vimeo, they asked me to pay to upload. I'm like, bro, rent was 50% of my paycheck at the time. That is cruel, I'm not gonna lie. And then I remember about Facebook. While I was pacing my room, wanting to get this masterpiece out to the people. And boom, the rest is history. There were some funny bits, like child neglect, similar to the fashion of R. Kelly babysitting your daughter. This show was pretty comical if you can look over the egregious criminal activity. Safe to say, the lore of this review itself is what made me so adamant I even wanted to continue the channel in the first place. Because hey, I like doing stuff that makes me question my sanity. I like typing 8,000 words to talk about what the hell plot means to me and reviewing games I hate. I like making daily uploads to the point where I have to actually get up an hour earlier than I do to go to work, to put in 2 hours of work before work, and then coming back after work, putting up 2 hours before I go to sleep. I love doing that shit, because like, again, I'm going to hit these walls where my ambition oversees my actual skill cap. Now I either have to tone my ambition down or raise my skill cap to meet my ambition. And I'm at this point now where I have to raise my skill cap, and I got art commissioned. You can see here a couple pieces I got commissioned here. You're looking at beautiful, gorgeous, magnificent, flawless. Now, does that make this the most expensive video I've ever made? Because I bought the Papa Black Games, which I pushed to another video. I bought Under Contract. I bought the Sexpocalypse series. I bought Lust Theory. I bought the commissioned art. So yes, this is quite possibly the most high budget FNL47 video you have ever seen in your life. Does it look like it? Don't answer that question.
I'm glad I'm not the only one that says that to my staff. Photo here.
I love this, man, you know? Yeah, I gotta do something. Like, it's either me playing Bejeweled 3 all day or making these reviews. No in between. Now, I did mention that I do love watching shows that are actually good, but another aspect in that is being surprised by character development. I have rambled on for years at this point of how a lot of these films I review give up the sheer concept of character development. I can't really blame them if the end goal is profit, and we live in a society after all. It's just a lot easier to have a 20-minute scene of a character getting their black blown out and using that to describe the lore. However, there is a perfect balance that very few shows have struck. What is this balance, you ask? The ability to both describe what is going to happen implicitly and explicitly. Because there are times where, yes, even in these films, that implicit scenes will have to suffice due to either it taking way too long to explain, or nope, that's basically it. Bondage Game doesn't do this too often or at all, but Sachi was killed off screen. They show a very brief explanation of what happened, but it was after our main character found it. It made me more invested because I genuinely was not expecting it to happen as fast as it did. It conveyed so much in so little and altered the trajectory of you as a character for the foreseeable future. Mainly because now she realizes how hopeless it is to be happy or hopeful in captivity. She realizes that even if she made friends, if the head honcho Andrew Tate tier 3 subscriber finds out about it, he will end it. He will do everything in his power to end that positive beam of light in this dark cavern of desolate despair for her. Because at the end of the day, she is his slave by all means. Check out the full review of that series if you want to, by the way. I go a bit more in detail about it. And before you ask, no, I haven't reviewed every single series in the world. But since you brought it up, drop any suggestions you want to see me review in the comment. Games included now, because I'm buying games review now. Look at this wonderful comment of me reviewing the blah 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 video game. I mean, magic and fortune telling, there's just no scientific foundation to them. And they're unproductive. Not something an intelligent person should be doing. Says the person who pranked his childhood friend by getting butt booty naked and showing them. No, we're good. Wasn't that funny? Wasn't that comical? Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. I'm going delirious here. It's been 2 hours me recording this. And Pigeon Blood also fits his character development arc because not only is it similar to Bondage Game character development, Pigeon Blood's form of character development is done in a way that's similar to Bondage Game as well. The parallels between these two are not missed on me in the slightest. I've seen a few comments where they say Pigeon Blood isn't as bad as Bondage Game, but it's in the same realm or same universe, and I agree with that. Because both series have a seemingly naive woman fall under the charm of a charismatic, conniving human trafficker. Both witness all of the most ungodly actions performed under the sun and then have to be put in a similar situation or worse to survive. Both have friends that end up being killed prior to a massive veiled show to a circus just meant to torture them for profit. And both main characters become so immersed into this deprived environment they become the show's frontrunners, which ends up as the climax itself, involving them either dying as the final act or seeing everyone else in front of them die.
What the hell?
My first review ever, The Foundation, Bible Black. I didn't mention a bit of the lore like 20 minutes ago. God knows how fucking long this video is. Jesus fucking Christ. I was so close so many times in giving up making this series. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't felt that much rage, passion, and outright despair conveyed within myself. Because at the end of the day, if that video never uploaded, I wouldn't have made this channel. And if I never made this channel, I don't even know, honestly. Maybe I'll go back to college. Who knows? I don't fucking know. It was my first time ever taking a project to this extent. I was joking about it at the time on my deleted Twitter, and I kept hyping it up all the while I was struggling behind the scenes, raging, molding, seething. This was back when I had no idea how to go about making a video of this format. I haven't made a video essay at all. And the only equivalent I can think of as a video essay, or at least like a video that I would make as a YouTube figure, was way back in 2014 when I was a commentary channel doing react videos in my Gamergate atheist fashion. That was peak for me, I'm not gonna lie. But I also crashed and burned immediately as well because I couldn't handle the amount of pressure, the amount of clout I was gaining. Like, I remember I got mentioned on like some podcast way back then, and I was listening to them mention me, and I was like, oh, it's so pog, and then a month later I had like a fucking spiral. So the lore behind this entire video itself is part of the reason why this video is as long as it is. When I downloaded Sony Vegas 15, which I still use to this day, which maybe I should upgrade, but I don't know, I love it now. I love how janky this shit is. I spent weeks trying to learn about how to use it. And when I finally got up to speed, I started editing, and then I realized something. I loved it. I loved the struggle. I love sitting back and hearing my voice over and over again until I get nauseous of it. I love seeing everything pieced together. I love hitting render as, export as, insert a format for a YouTube video here, and I love my shitty YouTube thumbnails. I love this entire process. And looking back on it, realizing that Baba Black is the main reason why I love creating content kind of makes me feel that I should owe them a lot. But at the same time, like, I made the video reviewing your content, so buddy, you know, hey, I put more people on Baba Black than, you know, no, I'm fucking kidding. Yeah, I loved it all. It was very enthralling. I also love the concept of trying to explain to other people that I review adult films and the lame bits I put into them. It's very wicked. Now, this is pure gold. Comedic genius. S-tier comedy. First of all, you guys see how tall that fence is? If the average 16-year-old male is around 5'4" to 5'9", and the female is like an inch or two below that, then that fence is easy, what, 6 feet tall? but yet she cleared that with ease. No breathing, no warm-ups, no nothing. Cleared it in one shot like a pole vaulting event and just hangs in midair. And every single day, I would sit down on this computer after coming from work, after coming from college, after coming from school. Seconds would turn to minutes. Minutes would turn to hours. Hours would turn to months. And when I finally got to the end product, it was a wonderful video. Now, this was around the time of me realizing how comically similar the ass pose about Black were to most shonen. And it also got me hooked as well because I wanted to make the comparison because I was watching a lot of shonen at the time. Reminds me of someone's first movie they ever watched was Boss Baby, and the next movie they watched like Mission Impossible. And they go, damn, this is some Boss Baby vibes going on right here. That's what I was feeling like. It was kind of, kind of wholesome that front. As I mentioned before, what I viewed as something not to be taken seriously has made me put so much invested time into it that it almost felt impossible to give up or put down. If there is a positive sunk cost fallacy, that's what I just explained. Now, as positive and as uplifting as it sounds, there was a reason why it took so long, not only for the video, but the next 10 until I found out what was causing me to take so long. My shitty cheap laptop. Maybe it was either because my settings itself weren't as optimized for my software at the time, but when I finally had to get to the rendering process, that took weeks. Because what I had to end up doing was, out of the 30-minute video review that it was, I had to render 1-minute sections 28 individual times, upload a new project so it doesn't crash and I upload all the old assets I used to put the video itself. Put all 28 clips together piece by piece by piece, render all that out, and then have a new video. And if you were to watch the Bubble Black video now, you would see that there are parts that clip in, clip out, parts that peak wrong or incorrectly, parts that repeat, and that's why. Now, if you haven't noticed it up until now, I'm sorry I caused you to do that. I'm also going to make you blink, also going to make you breathe, also going to make you feel your tongue in your mouth, also going to make you realize that you're hearing your heartbeat right now. And also make you realize that you can see your nose, since we're doing this.
Look at this shit, man. I'm out. Fucking.
Once this Sisyphusian task was done, once I finally uploaded the video, I realized I liked it and I had to keep doing it over and over again. And I guess the moral of the story is Sisyphus must be happy because I know I was. And I currently am now. So yeah. That, and also I remember one random Twitter user in the ye old age of 2019, he said, "Oh wow, you really did it?" That's crazy. And I don't know why, that spurred me to keep making more content. I just want to prove him wrong. Like, that motherfucker don't even exist anymore. Like, like we are in different universe at this point. Like, it's like a different timeline. I don't even know who he is anymore. It's crazy. Like, to this day, that thought echoes in my brain. And like, who is he, right? And that's what watching for the plot means to me, and hopefully to you too. I'm not gonna lie, at this point, I have never realized that no matter how much work I put in, no matter how good the content I think I put out, there's one thing I can't control, and that is how other people perceive the content, how other people think it is. And it is still to this day one of the major pillars in the creative process that gives me pause. One of the main reasons why videos take an extra day or two or a month to get out, because that's one thing I keep thinking about. Like, what if they don't like it anymore, right? And in response to that, I have always tried to optimize my next video to be better than the previous one, because the plot itself is something I am actually interested in watching for. Again, third time mentioning this, but it started off as a joke, and now I go out of my way to see an entire series mapped out on my notepad, going back and remembering it. Because for some reason, I can't remember anything as necessary and vital in the real world. But if you ask me to remember a plot of a series or a video game that I just played, I can give you a quick 10-minute synopsis of that show or that piece of media, because it's just stuck in my brain like that. That's how my brain works. So when Playboy magazine article enjoyer said I read for the articles, he was so real for that. Maybe he did. And he also enjoyed some titties on the side. It's a part of life. To conclude, watching for the plot means whatever you want it to mean. It can mean you literally do it. It can mean you ironically do it. It can mean that you were explicitly ignoring something for the purpose to ignore it. It can't mean that. While I don't have any notes from that time, I do remember a few principles that stick with me even to this day. Use the intro, that intro. Find a series that I'm interested in, and don't take this too seriously. It's hentai for Christ's sake. And with that, my path was set for me without even realizing it. Now, did I make this video so I can rant about why I love reviewing adult films so much and how they impact my psyche, willpower, etc.? Yes, maybe, I don't know. But I do feel there's extra context added when you do watch for the plot. You have the plot now, so go watch it. Alright guys, I love an outro, but if I did, it wouldn't matter because no one makes my video. Good night. that outro, since we're doing lore, might as well go ahead and do that. That outro, I watched D'Angelo Wallace's video from 4 years ago and started saying it ever since. I think the first time I ever said it was in the Night Shift Nurses video, if I remember correctly. Yeah, the first one. I think that was the first time or one of the main times I started using it, and it just stuck with me ever since. And then the outro as well, I started using that around the same time as well, because again, D'Angelo Wallace.